Okay, let's try this again and see how it goes. You guys tell me if you can see me now, and we'll go from there. Who's here? Let's see. A couple people popped in. Okay, if you guys can see me and hear me, give me a little hello. All right. A couple people in here. I'm just gonna get rolling because I'm not seeing any chats from you guys, so I don't know if you're not logged in or whatever. So I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, so today, this is the second episode of the Notorious EDC show, and now it's a show because I'm showing you stuff rather than just podcasting about it. But I'm enjoying the format, and again, still working out the kinks, but it's all good. I think I have the overhead cam figured out. I need to rig it so I can flip it the other way, but for today, this is going to work and it's going to be fine. But I've got this camera figured out. I got the overhead cam figured out, so I think we're in good shape. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about modern traditional knives. The only kind of rules that I have are that they need to be two-hand opening and non-locking blades. So that's pretty much it. Well, I'm getting a text from Ben Belkin here. Overhead cam is working good and we can see and hear you. Okay, great. All right. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can comment. If you guys can comment, drop a comment because I don't see any of the comments. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's going to be a problem for the giveaway later, but we'll figure it out. It's all good. Anyway, so like I said, there's two rules with modern traditionals for today, and that is that they have to be two-hand opening and non-locking blades. So I will have like an oddball knife in here, but it is a modern take on a traditional knife. So I thought it'd be cool to show it. So I have how many knives today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 knives that I want to show you guys. I'll spend a couple minutes on each knife, just kind of showing off different things that I like about it and just features in general. So I guess we'll just jump into it and get started. And also I was upstate this weekend, which is really nice because there's like more than 7 trees. So I got to be around nature a little bit. I got to hang out with some chipmunks and just like feel like a normal person for a couple days. But it was cool. I got to bring all my gear up there. Actually, wanted to shout out to the Vault Case Co. They actually sent me this a few months back and I was just kind of like, I don't really have a need for it. And then I realized like it's actually a pretty dope case. So I got to kind of bring my stuff around and actually brought all the knives here in that case today. So it kind of worked out really nice. And I'll show you guys the case later. But anyway, so I got 7 knives. I'm just going to go down the list. They're in no particular order. First up is going to be the Peña Spearpoint. And this one is modified. So I'm sorry, I didn't have time to change the scales back. Let me go to the overhead cam. Shameless plug with the pouches in there. But yeah, so this is and I'm really sorry, I had a little too much coffee today. Let me just try and drink some water and water that down. So I'm a little shaky, but it's all good. Anyway, so this is the Peña Spearpoint. And if you're newer to the EDC world, you might have heard of the Peña X series. And if you haven't heard of Enrique Peña, he's a world-class knife maker, custom knife maker, and he's one of the best in the business. He's probably the most consistent knife maker on the planet, in my opinion. And it's really cool that he started this X series line. Let me get this a little closer for you. So this one is a Spearpoint. I think the blade's about 3 inches, and it originally came with black G10 and orange liners, or green G10 and black liners, I think, which is the one that I had. It was a black jig G10, but Jason Ritchie actually made these really nice linen micarta scales for me and just kind of added a little razzle dazzle to this knife and made it feel a little bit more like a custom knife. And Riot is the the factory that's producing, they're the brand producing these beautiful production slip joints. And today is all about production, by the way. No custom stuff. This is all production, reasonably priced, reasonably accessible items that you could get. So I really like this knife. It's really light. Even this modded version is very similar to the stock version in that it has no steel liners. So it's a really light knife. I haven't weighed any of these knives because the spec stuff kind of gets a little bit boring to me, but I would say it's probably like a 2.5 ounce knife or something like that at most. But it's a really good knife in terms of size, and it feels like a custom knife in a way. Um, Hold on, Ben is texting me saying people are active in the chat. Pop out chat. Hey, now I can see you guys. Awesome. That's what's up. Let me just check in real quick and see who's here. We're back. What's up, Tom? We can see and hear you. Hello, hello. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So now I can see your guys' chat. So thank you, Ben, for the heads up. So yeah, so this Peña slip joint is a really awesome way to get a super high quality production slip joint. And I believe they're like $180. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but even with the I'm sure they're sold out by now because it's kind of like the design's been probably out for over a year, maybe longer. My sense of time is pretty terrible. So it could have been 2 years by now. I just don't remember. But if you can find one of these, I would say grab one, especially if you're coming from more of like the tactical world and you're trying to get into slip joints. That's kind of what this whole day is about. Let me switch back to the front cam here for you. The whole video is about that crossover kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Because there's so many guys like me who, when I first got into knives, I was like into the bulkier tactical stuff just because that's what was popular at the time. Like in 2014, 2015, it was very common. Everything was overbuilt. But then I started to get more into smaller knives, and stuff like this really just, kind of jumped out at me. So if you're interested in making the switch, I would say start with one of these bad boys. Riat's going to be awesome quality. So I think that this is a great place to start. If you can find one, I would say go for it. You don't need steel liners. It's kind of a personal preference. To me, it's more of a preference of weight than, like structural integrity. It's like there's nothing I'm going to do with this knife that's going to risk breaking the knife. You know what I mean? This is a slip joint. It's an EDC knife, and I think pretty much goes without saying that you're not going to be chopping trees down with a slip joint. So anyway, this knife again is designed by Enrique Peña and manufactured by Riat for his Peña X series line. It's also flush in all three positions. If you're new to the slip joint stuff, I can kind of show you what that means. So basically, when you have the knife closed, the spring over here by the tang is flush, and then it's also flush at the half stop, and then it's flush on open, which is a sign of quality. It's more of a fit and finish thing, but that's kind of something that knife collectors look at. Let's see what you guys are up to. Yo, Rob Grimes, what's up? Sharif, what's going on? Patina Turner, yo, what's up, dude? I'm in taking a look at traditionals. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of fun, right? It's like a nice, I don't know, they're just fun to collect. There's a million of them. There's a lot of history there, which we're going to keep talking about now. Next in my list here is the Jack Wolf Knives Laid Back Jack. So this is a knife by my buddy Ben Belkin, and we've known each other for some years now. He's a great dude. But yeah, sorry, I forgot my camera's upside down. So this is his take on a swayback jack, and this is probably in this little pile of knives here the most literal version of a modern traditional, in the sense that it hasn't strayed from kind of the traditional pattern, but it has very modern materials. And that is what I would define a modern traditional as, because you have titanium liners and a bolster, integral bolster. So you can see that's like one piece there. So I'm guessing, I haven't talked to Ben about this, but I'm assuming just by looking at it, this scale was basically one, each scale was one piece of titanium. They milled out the section for this micarta and left the bolster. And then, you add this nice micarta cover, which gives it a very traditional feel. So again, this is flush in all three, which is really nice. The blade is super thin. That's another thing that I really love about traditional knives, is that the blade is really thin and it makes it a good slicer, because I think that was one of the things. Let me switch back to the old front camera here. That was one of the things that used to bug me about the big chunky tactical knives, is like they were pretty terrible at being knives. And I think when you when you want to cut something, you want it to be easy to cut. So a knife like this, let me go back overhead. A knife like this has a little hollow grind on it, which I love. It's got that belt satin finish, which is nice. Little swedge up there, which is a nice touch as well. I love a swedge. And but yeah, having a thin blade is just really nice for cutting. So I really enjoy that kind of a thoughtful addition to a knife, is like remove more material from the blade, make it easier to cut, and it's just going to be a better functioning knife, because it's still going to look cool. It's still going to hold up. It's steel, and again, this is an EDC knife. You're going to be cutting paper, Amazon boxes, probably doing some food prep. And this blade is actually M390. So is the Peña. That's another thing I wanted to mention too. Sorry, it's popping in the hallway right now. That's another thing I wanted to mention too. A lot of traditional slip joints were carbon steels, and still are carbon steels, like GECs, which I'm going to bring out in a minute. But I really prefer stainless steels for so many reasons. Visually, I don't really love patina. And it's not going to rust on you. So it's just going to be better in terms of like durability and stuff. So I'm pretty happy with M390 and just stainless steels in general. But oh yeah, I have the box. I actually wanted to show the packaging for the Jack Wolf knives. Let me see. Sorry, again, this is upside down. So this is the box that comes in, and then later, if you guys want to pause this and read it, it's got a little, a little backstory for Ben's brand here. Let me know if you guys can hear some loudness in the background. Sorry about that. It comes with this awesome tube, which is a call out to, sorry, some people next door yelling. There's a call out to GEC's tubes that they made and shipped all their stuff in. So this is really nice. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because there's a lot of loud noises going on. I'm trying to hope that you guys can't hear them. So just let me know. Anyway. So yeah, I think Ben, correct me if I'm wrong. Ben's in the chat right now, but he had a Marvel artist do all different illustrations, and he's got a ton of different patterns that he did. I want to say there's about a dozen or so that I've seen on his Instagram. And he's got a nice cleaning cloth here, comes with a sheath and a sticker. So you really get hooked up when you get one of his knives. And I just wanted to shout him out for that, because that's always a nice touch. So that's cool. Moving right along, the James brand Wayland. So this guy, James brand, a lot of controversy surrounding James brand, and I don't really get it. I don't know why they get so much hate, but I really like the guys at the James brand. They really care about knives and the community, and I think they do a really good job of listening to customer feedback and stuff. And over the years, they've gotten better and better and better. I really like this knife a lot. I think this is the best knife they've done, in my opinion. The walk and talk just feels really clean. Walk and talk, for people that aren't familiar with slip joints, is the action, like the physical action and the sound. But yeah, this knife is awesome. Um, I really like the modern take on the nail nick there. So it makes the blade really pinchable. So it's very easy to open. There's a lanyard tube, which is lanyard hole, which is always nice. So you can throw a lanyard on there. It's a little easier to retrieve out of your pocket, or you can throw a bead on there and put a little flare on your knife. So that's always fun. And again, tell me if you guys can hear the neighbors next door, because it's very loud for me, and I hope you can't hear it because it's going to be distracting. But anyway, so yeah, James Brand. The one thing I will say is I wish they did a little bit more. I think they're starting to upgrade their steels, because I think that's like the big complaint from people. Like, this blade is actually S35 VN, which is really nice. And I think now people are complaining that that's not good enough, but I think that's plenty good enough, especially for a slip joint where you're not going to be hammering on it. So this knife to me is awesome. And oh, I forgot to mention, sorry, the Jack Wolf knives are about $275, so I wanted to mention that. And this knife is about 200, depending on the material combo that you get. And I think the wood ones are a little bit more, but this one is about 200 bucks. Black G10 with black, I think PVD is probably the coating on there. Rob Grimes says, can't hear them. Okay, good, because they're very loud and it's distracting. So, but you know what? Let's go back to the front camera here. I got to just get in where I fit in. You know what I mean? It's Monday. I'm just trying to do this because I got a lot of stuff going on this week. So I just want to get this done so I can get this video out for you guys and just show you some really cool knives. So that's the James Brand Wayland. And again, if you want to check out a new kind of a modern take on a traditional, I really like them for, kind of pushing the envelope and just trying some different stuff. They do a lot of cool stuff with, like, their Elko knife is a small slip joint. I don't have it with me, but it has like a little it's almost like a pry bar or kind of like a screwdriver on the end, and you can use it as a lanyard hole too, which is really nice. So they have a lot of really cool stuff. Next is a bit of an oddball here, which I absolutely love. So this is the ZT0235, and it's an Anso design, and it's very modern in the fact that it is a detent knife. It doesn't lock, it doesn't have a spring. So it's literally just held open and closed by a detent in 3 positions, actually. So it's a detent closed, a detent at half stop, and a detent all the way open. For detent knives, I definitely don't recommend trying to do anything above like light duty use with it. But for me, again, just opening packages and stuff like that and cutting paper, this is totally fine. Because that detent will buckle on you, and it's happened to me before, and luckily I didn't get hurt or anything, but it's just something to note. This knife actually is awesome in so many ways. I really love the blade shape. Let me see if I can go overhead for this. You can see the details on the blade there, all the information. I can't see it because it is too small for me to read, but made in the USA. What does it say? CPM 20. It's nice steel. So these guys are like 200 bucks. And unfortunately, these micarta scales are aftermarket from Rips Garage Tech, but that adds like 60 or 70 bucks depending on if you get with a pocket clip or not. However, I'm not a huge carbon fiber fan, but I really wanted this knife. I think it looks so cool, and I just love this blade shape. The original 0230 023 whatever, you guys know what I'm saying. The original 0230 is the Monte Carlo style blade. Excuse me. And that is that's an awesome blade pattern, but I really like this one a lot. It just looks a little bit more aggressive, and I just really this one really jumped out at me. Like, the other one was cool, But when I saw this blade shape and found out about the micarta, aftermarket scales that you could get for it, I was all in. So I will say I did have a hard time getting these scales on here. Um, with these screws. I kind of had to like smash them in with I don't even remember how I got them in. I probably just hit it with the butt of the screwdriver or something. So it was a little bit of a snug fit, but I really like this knife a lot. Like I said, this is like $204, I think, for the knife, American made, really nice, designed by Anso and executed beautifully by ZT. And again, these scales are from Rips Garage Tech, and I really, really like them. And I think I'm gonna hit him up and see. I think I saw he had some black micarta, which looked really nice, so I'm gonna hit him up for that. Let me catch up on some comments here. Okay, so James brand get flack because it's a hipster brand, not for hardcore knife aficionados. So I don't know what that even means. Like, what is a hipster brand? I don't get it. I don't get the hate. I really don't understand it. I think maybe people see them getting like put in Uncrate, so they're like, "Oh, they're not a real knife brand," but I don't know. I don't get the hate. I think they're awesome. They're super nice guys. They make really cool stuff and they try really hard to like I said, to listen to customers and take the feedback into consideration. And to me, that's more than a lot of knife companies. So that's more than a lot of brands. That's what I can say about that. Let me take a little sip here, check my notes. Right. Over on Reddit, I feel like the main complaints are because they overcharge. So I think some of their knives are expensive, but I think they're not out of line with what other knives cost. So I don't get it. I feel like people just want to pick on them for some reason, but I don't know. Everyone that I know that actually has them likes them. So it's this weird thing of like people that just don't own them kind of hate on them for some weird reason, but anyone that I know that actually has a James brand knife for the most part likes them. I haven't really heard anyone be like, "Yo, that knife sucked and I got rid of it." Like everyone's like, "This knife is really cool. I really enjoy it." Like the Carter's a good example. Um, anyway, moving on to GEC. So this is kind of like I don't even know if you could call them modern because they haven't really changed the way they make knives. Let me go overhead. They haven't really changed the way they make knives in a very long time. And I feel like Ben, you probably have this memorized. So if you want to pop in the chat and mention what year they started, collecting the other brands and basically forming this umbrella company, feel free to pop in and say that. But I don't have the info offhand. But this to me, this knife is just this is it. When you're talking about a traditional knife. And again, I don't know if this would even be considered modern because it's not. It's made in the same old factory, I think, or on the same machines. And this one is a carbon steel. So if I was to cut, you could probably see a little bit. You could see a little bit of rust under that banner by the T. So yeah, that's the difference between a carbon steel and a stainless steel. If you cut like maybe meat or whatever, if you use this for food prep or you cut some flowers, that steel's going to turn black or some cool colors actually. Again, I don't use this one for cutting stuff cuz I like it too much to put patina on it, but I do have a GEC 83, which is a really nice lockback that I do use for that kind of stuff. And the patina actually looks cool. So I don't know, maybe it's growing on me, but I really love these jig bone handles. It really has an old school vibe to it. It's got that nice long, what do you call it? That long nail nick. It's just really nice. Just a beautiful knife. So this is a 15 pattern and it's a Tom's Choice, which you can see with that TC and the Tom's Choice on the blade there, obviously. But yeah, this is one of those things though these guys are like impossible to get. I think back when I started collecting them, they would go for like $90 from a dealer or 100 and something from a dealer, and then maybe you would pay like 175 or something like that, and you'd feel like you got robbed. But now you can see these things going on Facebook and eBay for like $300-400. Sometimes if it's like a numbered one where there's only a handful of them, you could see them go for like custom prices like 5, 6, 7, $800. It got a little crazy recently, and I hope that settles down because these knives are really cool, and it would be nice for everybody to be able to get their hands on them. I think this is one of those knives where if you don't have a GEC and you're into traditionals, I would say you need at least one in your collection. It's kind of, to me, it's like owning a Sabenza. Even if you don't want to have a huge Chris Reeve collection, having a Sabenza in your collection is always cool. And it's the same thing for GEC. I think just having one is just a nice little, I don't know, just a nice addition to any modern knife collection. Or if you're not into, maybe you don't want to have a ton of modern knives, but you want one, I would say GEC is the one. And you can see here, they're not perfect. This one, sorry, again, this is upside down. This one is not flush at half stop. It's very hard to see, but you can kind of see it's sticking out a little bit there. It's very subtle, and it doesn't affect the knife at all. It's just an aesthetic thing. But, and is it centered? Let's see. Can you guys see that? Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty close. I think it's centered. Yeah, it's centered. But yeah, not flush in all three, just flush in two, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah, they go for crazy prices. So it's tough. It's a tough one. Moving on, another one that is a little bit interesting. And you guys, obviously, if you know me at all, you know that this is my favorite knife ever. This is the Victorinox Cadet. Sorry, I just tried to open this in the camera, in my monitor. But yeah, so this is the Victorinox Cadet. You're like, what's going on with that blade, Tom? So this is a Swiss Bianco. I believe this was called like Blade Show Gray or some dark gray or something like that. I forget the exact name of this color, but a guy named Swiss Bianco used to sell all these awesome ALOX versions. And maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let me go back to the front camera for a second here, which is not on anymore. Please hold. I think my camera died in the front. All right, so we're gonna go overhead until the end. So that's it. Anyway, so so this is the Victorinox Cadet, and there's like three main colors. They do silver, red, and black, and pretty much those are like 30 or 40 bucks or something like that. These colors, when they start to do a lot of like limited colors, or it would be like a run for a dealer like Swiss Bianco, I don't know how many pieces they would get, but I would imagine not a ton. And these things would go, some of them would go faster than others, and then they start to get crazy on the secondary again. I think this was probably like 60 bucks or 70 bucks. If I think I bought it directly from him too. But yeah, then, sometimes you end up spending like, I think the most I ever paid was for a maroon or a burgundy, excuse me. It was a burgundy Cadet. I think I paid like 180 bucks for it. But now you see like some of the other more rare colors going for over $300-400. It gets wild. So it just gets a little hectic. But I really love this knife. And I would say this is a modern traditional, even though the design is not super modern. I think this design's been around since the 80s at least, the ALOX scales. But in terms of their design, it used to be, I mean, they still make obviously the Celador, the red plastic scales that you guys know, but this this kind of like aluminum scale is just really cool because they have so many different colors and it just looks really nice. It looks awesome in different lighting. And this is something that you can do a lot with. Basically it's a multi-tool. You have the bottle opener. There's a wire stripper. Sorry, it's a little wire stripper that I've never ever used in my entire life, but you can use this flathead screwdriver here. This is a can opener, and you can actually use this end here for Phillips screws, which is nice. And then there's a nail file, which is pretty much useless. I don't think I've ever really used it for anything unless I had to kind of like pry something out gently. So that's pretty cool though. And this is a great office carry if you want to have a knife in your, in your slacks. If you have a desk job and you don't want to scare people, this is a great knife. No one's ever going to freak out, hopefully, with this little blade. I mean, it's basically, it's very small. So I really love these. If you can get one of these, you might get the Alox pox, as they say, the Alox bug, and you might start trying to find every color under the sun. I probably have like 30 of them or 40 in a bunch of different colors. And it's just something that's like super fun to collect. And luckily I collected them. I started collecting them before the prices got insane. So I have a pretty nice collection that I'm happy with, and it didn't cost me $1 zillion. So that's pretty fun. Let's see what else we got here. So just checking the old battery on the top camera. Let me see if I can get this front camera going. Hey, it works now. I don't know what happened there, but it's all good. So I thought I had plenty of battery. That's why I was a little confused. And then last but not least, a shameless plug to my own design, the Kingpin that I'm coming out with later this year. I just wanted to show this because obviously this is my channel, but I think that this is an awesome knife. This is basically the knife that I always wanted but didn't exist. So I just wanted to take a second and chat about it with you guys. And if you're familiar, again, with my Instagram and my Facebook group, you've already seen this a million times. But what I've done here is I took basically a gun stock handle and I put a finger groove in it. So it just fits in your hand really nicely. It feels really good. I put a harpoon blade on there just to give it a more modern kind of aggressive look, because I think a lot of slip joints, they have more of a chill vibe, and I wanted to do something that was just, like I said, a more modern take. And I really like how this design came out. And again, Riot is manufacturing these for me, so I'm really happy with the quality. I have again, I have integral bolsters. This is similar to how Ben has his handles on his knife, in terms of the scales are cut from one piece of titanium, and then this area is milled out for the micarta covers, and then that lets you have basically different covers, different color covers, and it opens up the door for aftermarket scales. So if anyone out there is going to start manufacturing some aftermarket covers for our knives, they can go crazy. So I think that'll be a fun way for people to modify their knives and make them their own if they don't like black or OD green. But I feel like black and OD green are winners no matter what. But yeah, so I have a Fuller here, which is another kind of modern. Let me see if I can get that glare gone. A Fuller here, and sorry, this is I've been using this knife a little bit, so it's a little messy, but there's a Fuller here, which is basically like, it's a modern version of a nail nick, and it just helps you pinch the knife open. And this is also flush in all three positions here, which again, it's kind of hard to show on this camera, but yeah. And by the way, I'm actually going to not do my logo on let me see if I can get it there. I'm not going to do this logo. I feel like it's too much. I think I prefer a cleaner design on the spring and the knife in general. I feel like that little N on the blade is enough, and you'll know what's what. But yeah, I added a stop pin. Actually, Enrique Peña helped me with this one. I was noticing on some of the prototypes, I was getting a little over travel from the blade, and the blade was clapping the spring. So I got like a little, I would get like a little nick in the blade. So I wanted to just prevent that altogether and just not have any issues. So Enrique helped me with adding a what's that in my fingernail there? I'm sorry about that. Yeah, helped me with adding the stop pin, and they added that at Riot and sent them back to me, and I'm so happy with them. I think they came out awesome. Is this upside down? Yes, it is. I think they came out awesome. I'm really excited to offer these to you guys. And yeah, oh yeah, and I got a nice little lanyard hole there. So again, you can just swag it out a little bit with a bead, or you can just have you know, just a regular lanyard to just help pull it out of a sheath or your pocket, or however you want to you know, kind of store your knife. And I'm just really excited about getting these into the world. I think they're going to be here early fall, realistically now. So I'm working on getting these made, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on how we're going to release them. So yeah, I'm just really excited about this, and I'm going to offer it with a leather sheath as well. So that'll be really fun. I think it's going to be an awesome knife, especially for you guys that are into more modern stuff. I think this will be a nice crossover knife for you. This has a lighter pull than other slip joints, which means, oh, sorry about that, which means it'll be a little bit easier to open, but it doesn't close any, you know, any easier or anything like that. It's just a little bit less force to open it, so you're not going to bust your nails on it, which I really like. So I'm super happy with the way these came out. Let's see. Oh man, is this the giveaway? Absolutely not. Oh man, let's see. Let me check out the comments here, and we'll just go. Let me just actually lay all these bad boys out here. Open these puppies up for you. Let me just catch up with the comments here. I'm not announcing the price on my knife yet. I have it pretty much figured out, but I'm just waiting on a couple more details just to make sure I have everything accounted for, but I will announce it very soon. Shoot us a stinger. Yeah, I need to get some stingers made. Need a pouch dump before you close out the vid. Leave the blade clean and keep Notorious on the spine. No, I don't like that as much. I would rather, like every other knife, you know, has a little something on the blade. So to me, it feels kind of empty without something on the blade. And just this little N is just so subtle. I think it looks really nice. So I think that's the move. One hell of a walk and talk symphony you just played for us. But yeah, so that's the deal with all these knives. I really hope that it sheds some light on what a modern traditional is. And again, this is, I don't know how modern this is, more traditional than modern, the GEC, but I feel like it needs to be said. It's still getting made to this day, and you know, I don't know. We'll just count it. We'll let it slide. And again, this one is probably a little more the oddball with the double detent. Well, really triple detent, but I really like it. If you guys want to try something fun and different, this is an awesome knife. Maybe if you don't feel like, you know, spending all that money, try and find one used on eBay or on Reddit or something. I don't mess with Reddit because it stresses me out, but I hear that it works for a lot of stuff. So it might be worth looking into. But yeah, I would definitely keep an eye out for the Jack Wolf knives. Ben is just getting started. I think this is the second knife. Let me shout Ben out one more time real quick. I think this is the second knife that he has released, and they're at all your favorite dealers in a bunch of different colors. And I think there's going to be a lot more to come. Definitely keep an eye on Ben's stuff. And I don't know if Ben, if you're going to be at Blade, I think you said you're going to be at Blade Show. Sorry if my memory is garbage, but drop it in the chat and let people know what table you're at. And I think after Blade, Ben will come on the show and we'll do like a little episode together and just chat about knives. So I think that'll be fun. But yeah, check out Ben's Instagram. Ben will drop that in his chat as well. I think it's probably just Jack Wolf Knives. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I got to do a giveaway. So I was gonna give away. Let me see if this camera's still not working here. Damn. Oh, what's going on with this? Let me see if I can get this going again. I was gonna give away. I am gonna give away a G10 Big Papa, but I forgot it, so I don't have it to show you. But it's black and I will give it away. And all you have to do is be the first person that I see answer this, because I don't know how the servers work or whatever. But the trivia question is, sorry, this camera keeps dying on me. The trivia question is, how thick is a Big Papa? Go. Whoever gets it first is going to be the winner. Rob Grimes coming in hot. Closed. 50% thicker. That's funny. 50% thicker is true, but I was looking for an exact size. So yeah, Rob Grimes is right. It's 0.375. And this is a black PVD Big Papa, but you can see the size here is in fact 0.375 inches. So that's it. Closed. Quick on the draw, Rob Grimes. But yeah, this is my pouch loadout. I don't really have much going on in there today. It's just basic kind of a setup. I had my prototype pouch, but I switched over to a production version just for good measure. I just feel like, I'd like to carry what you guys are carrying. I really enjoy this pouch so much. I can't even tell you guys. And I'm really glad that you're all liking it. And it's been amazing seeing all your posts about it. And it just really makes me happy that you're enjoying it as much as I enjoy it, honestly. But the most important thing in the pouch, and I'm not getting paid to say this, but I'm going to shout them out. Stallmates, guys. One single wipe can save your entire day. Flushable wipes. These are actually great for sweaty regions. If you feel like you're getting a little too damp. But yeah, these are awesome. I got a box of these bad boys at home, box in the studio. You never know when you gotta go. Wow, that should really be their motto. That should be their slogan. But yeah, anyway, that's the pouch. And back here, I need to add, by the way, a little bit of paracord there, a little bit of paracord here with a bead. I literally just switched this stuff over. And another gem of a thing to have is the Anchor USB-C to USB-A adapter. Even has a little, you see that black dot? That's a light to let you know that it's actually plugged in and working. Get 2 of these for like $10 on the Zon. Buy Jeff Bezos some more yacht gas money. And that's pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me see if I can get this front camera going one more time. I feel like the battery's probably just dying and everything's just terrible. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to do another one of these again soon, probably next week before Blade, just to get one last thing out there. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have an awesome week. I'll catch you guys soon. See ya.